कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। While Viradha, the demon, fierce looking demon, he noticed the well-built whom he thought as ascetics, namely Rama and Lakshmana, walking with a lady of immaculate beauty, dazzling with jewelry. He was surprised. He was amazed. As seen, Viradha also means the one who has never seen love. So he must have come like one of those characters that we see in some of those series. Jumped on the trio, abducted Sita, took her away, carried her away. This was the first shock for Sita, seeing him and seeing him kidnap her. So while she shouted, stating that, wait, please leave me with my husband, Rama and Lakshmana started running behind this demon who was carrying away Sita. The Tamil poet Kamban, like how we have been witnessing Valmiki's Ramayanam in Sanskritam, time and again have been quoting relevant verses from the Tamil Ramayanam of Kamban, a celebrated poet. At times some chaupais from Goswami Tulsidasa's Ramcharitmanas, at times from Kalidasa's Raghuvamsham, from the works of Vedanta Deshika, from the kritis of Tyagaraja in Telugu, so that we understand that Ramayana, though Valmiki's Ramayana is the Adhara Grantham, Ramayana had its influence spread east, west, north, south. There was no restriction in geography at all. So the Tamil poet Kamban says, Nillum, Nillum, Yena Vandaninam Undaneduven, Pallum Valvairum Minnipagavai Muraithirand, Alli Pullum Malarannam Manayadai Urukai Chullu Yellain, Muhandu Uir Vishambu Todara. On the other hand, while running behind this demon, something that we have never expected happens. Rama turns towards Lakshmana. Because the earlier incidents where he was sent along with Vishwamitra, though his father was a bit reluctant, Rama took this as an opportunity. Later, when he was asked to become the heir apparent and not granted the kingdom, we have seen in Ramayana, it didn't cause any dejection on Rama's face, nor did his demeanor change. But this is the first obstacle. Viradha abducting his beloved Sita is the first impediment he is seeing in his life, a big setback. So he turns towards Lakshmana and says, Yayaham sarva bhutanam priyah prasthapito vanam adyedanim sakamasa yamata madhyama mama. I was asked to go to the forest, Lakshmana. I accepted. I came with my Priya. I came with my beloved. Adyedanim sakamasa. I did fulfill my mother Kaikeyi's wish of coming to the forest. But probably I didn't fulfill that to a large extent. I must have partially only done that. Why? Yamata madhyama mama yayaham sarva bhutanam. Now that my beloved wife Sita is kidnapped, my mother Kaikeyi's wish is fully fulfilled, which means my mother Kaikeyi will be very happy to see my wife kidnapped. Rama says this. Can you imagine? Because we have treated him as Maryada Purushottam. Yes, he is Maryada Purushottam. We treat him as Paramatma himself in a human form, in an avatara form. Taking him in that sense and then hearing words like my mother will be happy is something like a dialogue that we all say. So if we have something that causes discomfort with our parents, we may immediately retort, so are you happy now? We ask, right? So Rama is making such a statement, my mother Kaikeyi will be very happy. This comes in Valmiki Ramayanam. In fact, he goes on to state, Parasparsha tu vaidehya na dukkhataramasti me pitur vinashat saumitre swarajya haranat tatha. My dear brother Lakshmana, I was not given the kingdom. The eldest son is supposed to rule the kingdom. I was not given the kingdom. Later, I did not know how my father passed away. I heard this from Bharata. Both of these were depressing events. See, him not getting the kingdom, we have projected it in Aranya Kandam as per Valmiki, that he was not dejected about it. But here he says, Lakshmana, listen to me. Now that my beloved wife Sita is being kidnapped, this is more depressing than my father's death and me having to relinquish my kingdom. He says that. What does it mean? Maybe giving up his kingdom has caused some agony in Rama. Maybe not being next to Dasharatha in his final moments has caused agony to Rama. Maybe Sita being abducted right in front of his eyes has caused agony to Rama. Which of this is greater? Sita's abducting is greater. That is why he says, this is more depressing than father's death and me not obtaining the kingdom. So, two shlokas one after the other. One he says, my mother will be happy now. And this is more depressing that my father's death and me not getting the kingdom makes him absolutely human. So what is the purpose here? There is no doubt that Ramayanam in certain places very secretly Valmiki reveals the Paramatma Tattvam of Rama. On the other hand, all our Acharyas, Adi Shankara, Ramanuja, Vedanta Deshika, Madhvacharya, the great composers like Kamban, Goswami Tulsidas, Ranganatha Swami, Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, all of them, they have absolutely seen the Paramatma Tattvam of Rama. There is no doubt. But we must understand when Paramatma wishes to incarnate in a certain form, like Nisimha, like Varaha, or in human forms like Rama and Lakshmana, Rama and Krishna, he will surely ensure that he carries the traits of that particular avatar. If he is born as Varaha, he will behave like a Varaha. You can't differentiate between the behavior of Narayana being a Varaha and a normal Varaha that we see in the animal channels. He will absolutely adhere to that avatar. Similarly, a human form. In human form, you should have hands, face, all that is fine. But what is very peculiar about human? We are generally very ungrateful. Generally, not all human beings, we are generally very ungrateful. That is why people say let us have dogs as pets, because they are more grateful than human beings. They are more loyal. Animals are in many cases better than humans. That said, not all human beings. There are wonderful human beings that we meet as well. Another trait of the human being is, Whenever there is a problem, we will always want to shift that responsibility center to the other person. I have a problem. That lady sent me late from that shop. That is why I couldn't catch the bus. Because we need one reason, one person whom we can throw the blame on. Children generally will blame the parents. Between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, it has been a fight for ages. So there is always a person on whom we want to throw the blame. And that generally it will be a person. That person was late. That is why I am late. So this is a human trait. Maybe Paramatma wanted to get into the human behavior completely. All this while we saw him as a very ideal person. So we will keep telling our parents, I cannot be Rama. See, he said, I will follow my father's words and will go to the forest. I cannot be Rama. We will always say that. But look at this incident. When Sita, his beloved wife, was kidnapped, he said, let my mother, Madhyamamba, let my mother Kaikeyi be happy now. Then he says, this is more depressing than my father's death and me not getting kingdom. Which again proves that he is a human. Atmanam manusham manye ramam dasharathatmajam. Parasparsha tu vaidehya na dukkataramasti me. Pitur vinashat saumitre swarajya harana tatha. That time Lakshmana says, see, Ramayanam is a beautiful musical chair contest. Whenever Lakshmana doesn't behave well, he has spurts of anger. He will show his violent behavior. Rama will be the calm and composed one. He say, Lakshmana, behave well, don't get angry, calm down, calm down. When Rama is depressed or angry, Lakshmana will be the mature person. He say, don't worry my dear brother, I am always there for you. So there is always taking turns in Ramayana. Now when Rama says this, you know what Lakshmana says? Anathaiva bhutanam nathastvam vasavopamaha maya preshyena kakutstha kimartham paritapyase. My dear brother, kakutstha Rama, maya preshyena. While having a servant like me at your lotus feet, you should never feel helpless or depressed. I am there for you. See, this is another attribute that family members must learn. Ramayana is just not some fairy tale. It is a lesson for us. When somebody in the family is depressed for some reason, the other members should console that person. Don't worry, we are there for you. We are there to support you. Those words will be 100 times strong than any giving drips, saline water and all of that. So when Rama is depressed, Lakshmana says, don't worry, when I am there, why should you worry? This is what is family support. We should understand that from Ramayana. Lakshmana says, don't worry, I am there. And now as they were discussing, Rama lamenting, Lakshmana convincing, they were still continuing to run behind Viradha. You know what Viradha does? He does something very surprising. Now he drops Sita on the ground and he abducts Rama and Lakshmana and takes them away. Initially Sita was kidnapped and these two men were running behind Viradha. Now Viradha drops Sita and lifts Rama and Lakshmana and goes away. Now what will happen next? Now Sita has to run behind him. Well, let's stop there. What happened next? Next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.